Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Chance here, back again with another amazing video, and today we are going to be going over my week-long review of using the new MacBook Neo. Now, I know a lot of you have probably already watched all the big YouTubers go over all the specs of the new MacBook Neo, so I'm just going to do a quick rundown and not bore you with it too much. The MacBook Neo comes with a 60Hz 13-inch Liquid Retina display that's LED backlit. It's a 6-core CPU and a 5-core GPU, and it also is powered by the A18 Pro chip, which is the same thing that was in the 16 Pro iPhone series phones, and it's actually not too bad overall. You'd actually be surprised on how well it handles. I'm not complaining at all. I would like to mention that the A18 Pro chip that is powering this Neo actually outperforms in some areas on the single core compared to the M1 chip that came out back near 2020. Now, the new MacBook Neo comes with a 16-hour-long battery life, which is just 2 hours shy of the MacBook Air's rated 18 hours of battery life. That's not bad overall, actually. It's pretty good. It ultimately depends on what you're doing. I mean, it can last a couple days on a single charge, in terms of using it and then shut it off, forgetting to plug it in, using it, you'll be fine. It also charges decently okay. It's not like the fastest speeds by any means. The base model that I actually have here comes with a 256 gigabytes of storage, and for the $700 model, that's $100 more, you get 512. It has 8 gigabytes of RAM as well. Now, I know a lot of people have been complaining that both models, the base 600 and then the second tier $700 MacBook Neos, only come with 8 gigabytes of RAM and you cannot upgrade it. And there's a lot of them saying that, oh, it's a disaster, it's not going to last, it's unusable, you might as well just go for a MacBook Air. Quite frankly, to those people, you are wrong. We're talking about Apple, who makes the hardware of Macs, who makes the software of Mac OS. Combine them together, it is known that their products work a lot better combined because they make both. So if 8 gigabytes of RAM is still not good enough for you, you should get a MacBook Air or even a Pro if you're that much of a heavy user, because that is not what this device is meant for. For this device right here, the MacBook Neo, I'm just going to let you guys know right off the bat, for those of you who clicked on this video for this specific thing, it is meant for middle school, high school students, even college students who aren't doing heavy programs and stuff like that, and your grandparents. This is something that is good for web browsing, streaming movies and TV shows. It is good for writing scripts, which is what I used. I used the MacBook Neo for the script for this video. It's good for emails. It's good for all of that basic stuff. That is what this MacBook Neo is for. It's a small, cute, adorable little MacBook that's $600 or $500 if you use a student discount, which is absolutely amazing. There's no other laptop, at least right now, within the last few years, that is durable. The MacBook Neo is made out of an aluminum chassis, which basically no other Windows laptop in this price range has that. They're all flimsy plastic, not very durable, cheap feeling, not as premium feeling as this MacBook Neo, which is $600 or $500 with a student discount on Apple's website. It feels just as premium as their $3,000 more MacBook Pros. Again, this is thousands of dollars less and feels just like a Pro model in some aspects. Now, the port selection on the MacBook Neo, I'm just going to say I'm not too impressed. It has one USB-C 3.0 and a USB-C 2.0 port. Now, it does come with a headphone jack, which is awesome for those who don't have a bunch of money to throw on AirPods or other wireless earbuds or headphones, who just want a cheap $12 pair of plug-in. It's great. It's awesome. I think that's pretty cool. Now, one of the other things that they did do is side-facing stereo speakers, which I think is a new thing for Apple. I don't think they've done that before that I can recall anyway. I'll actually let you listen to a sample of the audio. Hopefully the microphone can pick it up at a decent amount. Go ahead and take a listen. So now that you know how it sounds, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Again, it's not fantastic by any means. I do want to say I disagree with MKBHD on his comments of saying on his podcast that they're not good. They're not great at all. I disagree. I think they are okay and that they are good budget speaker. It's $600. It's a budget laptop for a reason. It's not meant to have the most powerful speakers like on a pro model. That's not what this is for. Now, one other thing they did remove is the backlit keys. So if you're in a dark environment, it's going to be really hard to see the keys unless you have some form of lighting. If you have the brightness all the way up and it can shine a little bit on the keys so you can see in a dark room, that is like the other alternative you can do, but there's no backlit like on the Air or the Pros. That is one thing they sacrificed, which it's okay. I would have preferred to see it, but again, it's a budget laptop. Yes, other Windows budget laptops might have it, but again, regardless, it's a budget laptop. You're going to have to make some sacrifices to differentiate it from the other models. Now, they did remove the Force Touch trackpad that the rest of the models have, where basically for those of you who might be confused, it's basically like a solid state, like one piece of metal that like has a touch of some form. Like when you're pressing, you're not actually moving the trackpad. It's doing a little vibrate click that just feels so natural, as if you were actually clicking. Kind of similar to how the iPhone 7 wasn't a real button, it was just solid state. It kind of acts like that in a way. And they've been doing that for a couple years now. But this one is a regular clickable trackpad. Now, I'm going to say something that might be a little controversial. I think it's better than the Force Touch. I don't care. I think it feels more premium. I know I might get a lot of flack for that. People are going to disagree, which if you do, obviously leave your thoughts in the comments. Don't be too mean, but I think it's okay. I would actually prefer them to add that to the rest of the Mac lineups. I do want to make that known. It does sound good regardless. Now, between the two models, the base one I have here has the lock button, which for a lot of people, they prefer Touch ID. Which, if you want to do that, you can go up to the 512 gigabyte storage variant, which gives you Touch ID. So you do have that option there, but I would like to know if you are a person that has an Apple Watch, you can set it up in settings to unlock your MacBook with your watch. So you can technically just unlock it with your watch without typing in your code. But if you don't, or you just prefer Touch ID, that's $100 more, you're just going to have to do that. Now, I purposely chose the lock button base variant Neo solely for the fact that literally every other YouTuber is practically getting the Touch ID one, which is the $100 more option. I wanted to use the base model for those of you who, which is probably 90% of my viewers, or just 90% of Apple users in general, that don't want to spend so much and they can just buy, or if they already have one, an external drive that they got on Amazon for like 50, 70 bucks. You can just plug it in that, boom, you're good. That is one thing that you could do, and I think that's a pretty good option. I'm literally leaving Best Buy right now with a 512 SanDisk. I was in the middle of editing the video and I ran out of space, and the MacBook Neo would not let me change or delete a whole lot of stuff because it's like, oh, we need 30 gigs of space and you only have 10 and there's nothing else I can delete besides the video I'm currently editing. So I'll make that note. I know originally in my video I was saying get the base 256, get the 512. It's just ridiculous. I'm sorry, I had to go to Best Buy. I had to drive over 20 minutes just for this crap. So yeah. One thing about the display on the MacBook Neo I would like to mention is the even bezel that's all around it. There's no notch like on the Air or the Pros. I actually like it a lot. Yes, it's thicker. They're thicker bezels. But I might be crazy, but I feel like I probably would prefer that rather than having the notch. That could just be me, of course. That's not going to be everyone. I just do think that is something that I prefer personally. Now, I do want to make a comment. The renders of the indigo, the citrus, which is what I have here, the soft pink color, and then obviously just regular silver. The four colors they have, it shows the keys being like a slightly like color matched keys to the rest of the hardware of the aluminum chassis. I do want to say that it is a little too vibrant. It is not exactly in person how it is on the website. So in real life, when you're using this, it's going to be more of an off-white color with a slight hue touch of the color. So like the citrus, but by the images and the videos that you can see of me using the device, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. They look white, but in person they have a slight yellow hue to it. Nothing too crazy. I kind of call it like a banana, like the yellow outside and then the now vanillish, whitish, off yellow color, I guess. I don't know how to describe that. For the longest time, other people, including myself, have always recommended the MacBook Air as the go-to MacBook because obviously that's $1,000. That's cheaper than the $2,000 plus MacBook Pros. And 90% of users do not need the Pros at all. The Pros are meant for those who do heavy, like 8K video recording, create like crazy tasks and edits and animations and such. But now I don't think I can recommend the MacBook Air anymore. I'm gonna be completely honest. I think 90% of people in the world who use Apple products or just Mac in general, if they have an Android phone but use a Mac, whatever, I think they should skip the Air and get the Neo. Yes, you're missing out on a lot of stuff you would get with the Air. Yes, the Air has a nicer display. The Pros have an even nicer display. But the display is not bad. Like, you have to check it out in person. Go to an Apple store, go to a Best Buy, go anywhere you can check in person. It is not a bad display. Apple makes really good displays for their products. It's pretty good. Like, I have no complaints. I actually didn't think too much about it when I was using it. The only thing I did notice was when I was outside, it wasn't even like that bright. It was like basically cloudy where the sun was out, but it kind of had more of like a whitish gray hue in the sky with the clouds covering the sun. It was more like that. It was like the evening time when I was filming that, and it was kind of hard to see outside, so it's not the best display for that, obviously. But I would say if you're fine with it, I thought it was okay. I think most people aren't going to worry too much about it, but I also don't know how many of you are on the go. But obviously, most likely people are using this laptop are indoors or they're, at their home, their apartment, at school, college, inside where it's easier, more controlled lighting to where you can see. Now, before I go, I want to make a quick mention for you guys to stay tuned because next month in April, me and my buddy Ryan are going to be going down to Florida and I'm going to be testing out for the whole week the new iPhone 17e that also dropped on March 11th. Now, if you are new to my channel and this is the first video you're watching, first off, thank you. Appreciate the time. Secondly, basically, my most popular series is a day in the life series. I use an iPhone for a full day of usage on a single charge, take the pictures, show you guys video samples, all that stuff, and see how long it lasts. If it dies, if it lasts the whole day of me using the device, I'll let you know. But this time, it's going to be different. I'm going to be using the phone for a full week and give you guys my personal experiences with the samples, obviously, like normal. It's just instead of a whole day of usage, I'm going to basically give you the details of how it's like every single day that I'm gone. Now, with all that said, do I recommend the brand new MacBook Neo from Apple? Yes, I do. If you are on a tight budget, want to experience macOS, be more in the Apple ecosystem, don't waste your money on a MacBook Air, let alone a Pro. Get the MacBook Neo. It is more than enough that you need. I absolutely love this thing. If I didn't need a Pro, I would literally keep this. I would use this daily. But again, and if you're a student, use the discount. Get this for $500. I highly recommend it. It's absolutely awesome. I have literally no complaints with this. It's held up amazing over the last week of me using the device, and I cannot recommend any other Mac to you guys. Unless you do hardcore editing, you are a YouTuber, all that. This can get you by, but it's not going to be perfect. As soon as you start throwing a bunch of transitions and all that, you're going to start noticing some issues. But if you're a student, college, high school, middle school, doesn't matter. Or if you're a grandma, grandpa, or just a regular mom and dad and don't need anything crazy, this can do Lightroom. You can do graphic design, decent video editing. You'll be fine. But overall, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave a like down below, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next amazing video. Peace.